It's finally here, the first look at Rooster Teeth's new series recorded by Arizal. The first part to a 4-part prelude for a whole new series. I guess kind of like the Ruby trailers, because we're going to use these trailers to try and understand this new world, understand the culture, the characters, the rules, things like that. And we do start doing that in this first part. In this video alone, we were introduced to the main character Arizal, introduced to a lot of positions, and a small part of how this world system works. So we're going to go in depth with what we've learned and maybe even come up with some theories ourselves. Side note, if you want to see this video, at least at the time of this recording, it's only for first members. A week later, everyone will see it. Alright, let's get started. For starters, let's look at the animation. The 2D animation here looks very fluid in my opinion, more fluid than the other 2D shows on RT's list. That could be because this is just a short and not a lot of action is happening here, but it's still something I want to bring up because this animation really helped me connect with the main character even more, because it was so fluid and filled with character itself. The way Arizal was so jumpy and clumsy and awkward, being shown these character traits helped me to get to know her even more than just getting straight exposition. Speaking of Arizal, like I mentioned before, this first part has helped to establish Arizal's character. Through things she said and done, I think I have the character down, for the most part. At least the face value stuff that she would express to her friends and family. She could have this whole underlying thing in the background that will be explored more in the actual show. So the standard stuff. Arizal is 16, she seems kind-hearted, a little clumsy, but she means well, the regular protagonist characteristics. Her parents have been Disneyed, they're either dead or missing, so she lives with her aunt, uncle, and cousin. Also relating to her living situation, you notice while watching it that she seems very protective with the state of her room. You see while she's introducing her room, she's not hesitant, but she's quick to go, yeah, I know it's not like everybody else's, but... Also when her aunt comes in and tells her to clean her room, she defends it, saying that it was clean. The state of her room was her definition of clean. Now you can jot this down to her just being messy, but I think it's more than that. Everything seems to have its place. It's there for a reason. The placement of her plants, all of her favorite photographers' pictures are together. She even has little note cards everywhere reminding her of things she needs to do. So while it might look messy to newcomers and even her own family, to her and hopefully to us in the future, this is her definition of organized. This is how she goes about her day. This could possibly be a hint that she does things differently from other people.
I'm weird. I'm a weirdo.
She also seems very interested in places outside of her own home. She has those different plants hanging in her room, the kind that you need to put in its own controlled environment in order to keep alive, meaning that these plants are most likely naturally grown in different parts of the earth. She also follows multiple traveling photographers and even keeps her favorite one on her walls. Finally, hanging with her plant is an airship. All of these show a deep love for venturing into the unknown. Traveling to a bunch of new places is clearly her dream. I feel she will have a very fairy tale view of this goal. I'm basing this off her apparent love of fairy tale stories, her very apparent love. I suspect one of the things Arizal will need to learn is that the profession she wants, while exciting and eye-opening, will not be the whimsical fairy tale she's been envisioning it to be, and that it's possibly, well, deadly. We know because of all the high-tech items around, this world is not set during current times, but rather an alternate future. We're still on Earth. Yemen, where her family is originally from, is an actual place, but we have no idea about the state of the world. There could be dangerous creatures out in the wild. Arizal's hometown could be protected inside some high-tech bubble, keeping something out, which is why she's desperate to get out. We don't know. One last thing, it looks like another thing Arizal's going to have to deal with is her possibly not knowing what she fully wants. Which makes sense. Most people don't know what they want to do for the rest of their lives at the age of 16. When asked why she wants to be a record keeper, she gives a pretty unsure answer about wanting to be closer to her mom and wanting to be closer to her friends. I have no doubt she wants to explore because of what we see in her room, but maybe she doesn't really vibe with all the responsibilities a record keeper has. We'll have to get more information on the position, but maybe she already realizes that not everything about the job is as magical as she originally thought it would be. But what do we know about record keepers? A record keeper is an official member of the government. They travel the world and record what they come across before putting it in the global archives for future humans to look at and learn from. My question is, why? It seems like record keepers are pretty big deals. There seems to be a whole academy made specifically for this profession. I think it would be similar to My Hero Academia, where you can either go to a regular high school or you can go to a hero school, and your classes will be focused on preparing you for that specific career choice. Her academy, Academy 14, seems to be the step necessary to become a record keeper, because this extra credit assignment is a sort of formal application to be one. My question is, what's the need for a record keeper? They're apparently used to record human activity and cultures for humanity's future societies, but that just seems so weird to me. Like, I know we have people that travel the world and uncover our world's history today, and I know we have people who travel the world and write articles on articles about the world's multiple cultures and events, but the way this world works, they have an official position funded by the government that's used to educate the future generations of humans? Why? Don't get me wrong, this is in no way a criticism. I'm genuinely curious why the world feels the need to do this. Because it feels like they're preparing for something. Like they know there's going to be some apocalyptic event that's going to end everything as they know it, and they need a way to preserve humanity's history. It's interesting thinking about it, and I hope we do look into the deeper reason why the record keepers were formed. Finally, I want to talk about this world we'll be dropped into. Like I said, the show will most likely be set in an alternate future, rather than on a completely different planet. So most likely there will be some major changes. For one thing, we are in the year 14,321 HE month 8, which means August 4,321, which also means Arizal is doing the summer project way last minute. That's such a weird calendar though. No calendar I've ever seen has written the date in the Holocene era format. I didn't even know what HE meant before making this video. I mean, 2,000 years later, things like the calendar's format is bound to change. Yes, 2,000 years. The world that we're going to see while on Earth might as well be a new planet. We're going to be seeing a whole new Earth, no doubt. One of the things that could be different are the terrains. While we did see pictures of familiar looking environments, I feel like that's just a familiar looking mask over a world that has changed over the years. We're only seeing like 20% of the world. I'm sure there are plenty of unique crazy places we haven't seen yet. One thing I'm sure is different is who's in charge. While we did get a shout out to Yemen, it's clear by the fact that our main character is living in a place called Maktava. New societies have risen over the years. I wonder how many new civilizations have risen, how many if any have fallen. But that is pretty much it for this part. I had a lot of fun diving into the first part, and I can't believe we have 3 more of these coming our way. I don't know when though, I don't know if these are weekly, but if they are, I'll of course cover them. Again, next week non-first members will get to see the video, so go show it some love when you can. I know there's going to be a video that Issa the creator is going to do focusing on background information about the show, so if anything pops up during that video, I'll include it in my next analysis. But that's going to do it for this one, so if you enjoyed my theories and overall discussion, then hit the like button. If you want to know when I'll be talking about this show next, subscribe and hit the notification button. Once again, hope you all enjoyed, thank you, and I'll see you next time.